Hi everybody, this is Chelsea for Pearls and Palm Trees, and I thought today I would share with you some thoughts that maybe I have on this Sunday. Yes, it's September 10th. Hello people of the internet. Hello. So I have some thoughts, and my husband and I were talking about, things we wish we knew when we were teenagers. So I thought I'd shake the table a little bit. I'm sorry about that. So I thought maybe I would do, like the top couple things that I would, advice that I wish I had followed when I was a teenager. The kind of advice that would have saved me quite a bit of trouble when I was a teenager. And so this goes out to many of you who have teenagers. This is my advice to them. I hope this is helpful in some way. Learn from my mistakes, because I made quite a few. So this is just kind of the top 5 things I wish that I would have done, or advice I wish I would have taken when, 10 years ago when I was a teenager. And I remember quite acutely being a teenager and not wanting to take advice like that. So maybe you'll be better about it than I was.
Yes! Storytime theater!
And thanks for putting up with my TMI Tuesday. It's so good. Look at this. It's just so good. Girls' night. A how-to.
Now I'm going at a crazy high resistance. Hi, families of the internet.
So, cheers. Number 1 piece of advice that I wish, me as a person, wish that I had actually listened to when I was a teenager was not to date being a teenager. I personally, and all of my friends, none of my friends were, I would want to say, they just weren't emotionally mature enough for a relationship. And I know a lot of you are probably going to be really offended at that. Maybe you need a safe space. I don't have a safe space, but maybe you need one. Well, anyway, I ended up in a lot of pain and things that I just emotionally wasn't prepared for. Because when you're a teenager, you're smart, but you're not exactly astute or tactful when it comes to romantic relationships. And also, you're just not in a good place to have a romantic relationship in the first place. You're just not. When you're a teenager, you're just not in a good place to have a relationship, period. You're just not. Because in a couple years, you're going to be going off to college, you're going to be, traveling the world, doing things, this, that, and the other thing. You're going to be doing stuff, and you're not going to be around those same people anymore. And you're going to grow, you're going to change as a person, and the things that are important to you right now might not be important to you at all in, a couple years, even 1 year. Even when you're out of the house and you're in college, you might take a college class that could change your entire perspective on everything. And you're going to be like, I want to travel the world, and the person that you're with wants to stay in your hometown. And so it's just a better idea to hold off on romantic relationships and seriously dating. Honestly, I would wait until you're out of college. And I just don't think a romantic relationship is actually really necessarily a good idea when you're in college either. But that's a totally different video. That's a different video. That's another Sunday afternoon in the future. This is just me right now, this Sunday in the future. And today we are talking about teenagers. So let me get on to number 2. Number 2, which is just basically, number 2 is just healthy habits. Because when you're older, it's harder to establish healthy habits. So the sooner the better. These could be like financial habits, like saving money. This could be like brushing your teeth every day. This could also mean stuff like, how do you cope with stress? Because when you're older, probably plowing into like 3 pints of ice cream after you've had a really stressful day isn't the healthiest thing to do, because by that time your teenage metabolism is no mas, so you're just going to end up fat. And I don't want that for people. I want you to be able to do what you want to do and to healthily cope with things that are negative, because bad things are going to happen. They just are. That's life. You get the ups and downs. Anyway, so I just think that's a better idea, just to kind of figure out healthy coping mechanisms now than wait until something really stressful happens and then you find yourself in a pickle. My number 3 piece of advice is just kind of, if you don't know what you want to do, just don't feel pressured to go to college. Don't feel pressured to spend thousands of dollars if you don't even know what you want to do. I went to college, I left with my associate's degree. There were some other reasons why I ended up just leaving with my associate's degree, which is a different video. But honestly, I had a really hard time picking a major. I just did. And I thought that it was a better idea, and this is my advice to everybody. If you don't know what you want to do and you don't know, then my advice is just kind of hold off for right now. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of debt to go into if you have no idea what you want to do, you know? If you're switching majors every 5 minutes, I say maybe take a break, you know? Get a job. I want you to be useful. I don't want you to, you know, just sit at home on your butt all day eating Cheetos. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, you know, just trying to take a break and figure out what you want to do while being useful. Maybe that means, you know, finding a job, you know, pushing grocery carts. And I mean, that's good exercise. I know some people hate it. I know some people love it. It just depends on who you are, obviously. But just taking a breath and being like, okay, well, I'm just going to take a break until I can figure out what I want to do. And then I'll, you know, go back when I save up some money maybe towards my degree, and then I'll figure it out. And what I hate is we have all this pressure on kids, like, oh, you have to go to college, oh, you have to go to college, oh, you have to go to college. Why do I have to go to college? Why? There are lots of people that, you know, go to trade school and make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, there are plumbers that go to trade school, you know, and learn how to be a plumber, and they make, you know, $100,000 a year because they're a plumber. So it just kind of depends on what you want to do, and maybe that means being a gunsmith. Maybe that means I want to work my way up in King Soopers and be the best King Soopers person I can be, and, you know, whatever. And that might not require a degree for you. It might not, you know. So just take a breath and figure it out. You don't have to have it figured out this second. Some people don't even really have it figured out. You know, I know people in their 60s, they're like, I'm still trying to figure it out. I still don't really know what I want to do. I'm doing this right now, and I like it right now, but maybe that's going to change. So you just kind of have to be open to the possibilities, and you don't have to go to college. You don't. I'm giving you full permission. You do not have to go to college. You might have to get a job if you don't go to college. And also, I would also recommend getting a job while you're in college, but that's a different video. It's different. Number four. So that's the fourth thing. So, my number 4 thing for you is, while you're in high school, just be a part of something. It doesn't really have to be anything major. If you are a part of too many things, that could be a bad thing. But I'm talking to, you know, just general people in high school. I really benefited from being part of the drama team and part of musicals, and I was also in the orchestra, and I loved that. And just kind of, you're part of a team, and then you have, you're more well-rounded as a person. So that helps you with college, it helps you with whatever. But also, it's a lot of fun. I say just find something that you like to do. It could be lacrosse. I was almost on the lacrosse team. I really wanted to be on the lacrosse team, honestly, but it interfered with like musical schedules. So maybe that would work. Well, anyway, so I just say, you know, be part of something, have fun, enjoy being in college, or enjoy being in high school, enjoy the high school experience, because you won't regret it, I promise. The 5th thing for you, my advice towards all y'all, is make sure that your relationship with God is really in a good place. Like, it's really strong. Make sure that you're just, you know, you're doing prayer time, you're doing Bible time, you're just trying to get closer to God and things like that. Because when you go to college, it's going to be tough. You know, it's hard to leave all of your friends. It's hard to leave your family. It's hard to move across the country to a different school. It's hard to do those things. Or it's hard to, you know, be the one that's, you know, staying behind. And that was me. I was the one that went to community college. and went to college in my hometown, and I stayed behind while everybody left. And I was, you know, looking at my life at 18 like, I have no friends left because they're all gone. And it's hard to be that person. It's hard to be that I don't have any, you know, I don't have anybody right now. It's hard. And if you have a really, really strong relationship with God at that point, it's going to help you tremendously because He is with you always. You know, and it does make things a little bit easier. It makes transitions a little bit easier because, you know, I'm not alone. I might not have any friends right now, but I'm not alone. And, you know, things will change, and He'll be there for me when they change and if they don't. And it'll be okay. So, anyway, those are my little pieces of advice. Those are my little pieces of advice for all y'all. Thank you so much for chiming in, for coming on in, watching my video. Thank you, peoples of the internets. Thank you. Okay, anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.